Colin McGuigan, IFLTV. Edward,
Fuck
what a night.
Mate, I've got to say, I never thought anything would top Darren Barker against Daniel Gill. Kell Brook against Sean Paul. I mean, these away day wins. That was the greatest moment I've ever experienced in boxing on the road. It was unbelievable because the fight looked like it. I mean, what was Dalton doing? It was like the first round boxed beautifully. And Matthias was on it tonight. He was like a machine. Funny that, right? And all of a sudden, Dalton is having a war with him. He gets buzzed, right? He looks like he's unravelling. And then the round before, he starts holding his feet and giving it back to him. And then all of a sudden, he pushes him back. He whacks him to the body, starts backing him up. 2 clean right hands, 1 round the side. That's all she wrote. A fucking superstar is born tonight in Dalton Smith. A British world champion from Sheffield. It's January the 10th. We've only just began the year. 2026. Matchroom, baby. Andy Cruz coming up, January 24th. Josh Kelly's going to beat Mertz alive as well. Nunes is going to unify against Navarrete. Matchroom on fire. Shakur's going to bust up Teofimo. That was sweet as a nut.
Right. Let's go right back to that very first round. You said he boxed beautifully, right? Then comes out the second round. Did you get worried because he fought Matthias's fight and that wasn't what we expected?
But Matthias makes you do that. And he's probably one of the best in the world at making you do that. Because you can box off the back foot. And when he boxed Paro, I'm not quite sure he was at the races that night, but Paro was moving so much. That's not really Dalton's style. Dalton's a boxer puncher. But in the end, Dalton decided to hold his feet. And I said to Kevin Rooney at the start of that round, I think Dalton should just step to him here, start pushing him back. He looks tired. And all of a sudden, he started working him to the body. And the 2 right hands down the pipe, beautiful. And he was gone, gonzo. And he said to Dalton Smith, I've never been hurt. I've never been down. And I'm so pleased for Dalton Smith. We're going to Hillsborough, baby. That's what we're doing.
Would it be Puello next? I know, like, you can apply for
no,
unification exemption.
Yeah, we haven't been alerted that it's Puello yet. So we haven't been written to. We haven't. So we'll be allowed to have our voluntary or even a unification fight. But we'll beat Puello. He's going to come on leaps and bounds from that. Dalton Smith's an unbelievable fighter. And, like, he's got power as well. And you know what? It makes me laugh. Like, all these people talking about these fights and, let's make it when they're world champions and stuff like this. Well, we are fucking world champions. Yeah? And you ain't. So we're the fucking king of the castle right now. And I am buzzing for Dalton Smith. Because you know what he done? ABA champion. GB podium squad, as Grant said. English, Commonwealth, British, European, WBC world champion. And by the way, we lost the purse bid from Crazy Juan. Respect to him. Great show tonight. And we come to New York and we were going to go to Puerto Rico. We didn't give a fuck. We're coming and we're beating Subriel Matias. And I told everybody it was going to happen. And I want to say as well, obviously we had a terrible end to the year and start to the year. This victory, obviously Dalton's got his people. For me, shout out to Senior and Lats, It's been a rough period and this has been a welcome bit of good news for British boxing after a terrible tragedy.
We'll touch on that in a minute because I haven't seen you all week. Last one on the Dalton Smith fight. When you lost the purse bid and you came here tonight, were you worried because of the lack of sales? Were you worried about the pay-per-view price? Were you worried about, Dalton Smith should have been a superstar in the world, right? And it's affected him.
You know what, Colin? We live in a viral world now where, don't get me wrong, I would have loved more people to be watching that tonight and I would love the arena to be full up. But people see it. Do you know what I mean? I've already seen the numbers of the stoppage. It's millions already, instantly. So we've got to be smart now and make sure that as many people as possible can see what Dalton Smith just did. Every British fight fan, every British sports fan needs to acknowledge what this man has just done. He has come over to America and beat the monster in his backyard in front of all the Boricuas.
We obviously have to touch on the Cena and Lats thing, the tragedy. We haven't spoke to IFL, haven't spoke to you. Just on that, I think it's ridiculous. People have been asking about AJ's future. I wouldn't even dare do that. But in terms of AJ himself, have you spoke to him? How's he doing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, look, I think AJ is always going to be one of those guys. You've seen it in his career, and obviously this is a much deeper, tragic moment where he will always try and be the positive guy. what happened will probably never sink in for a lot of people for a long time, right? You got two guys who were, you know, some of the beating hearts of the team, and were friends of his for years and years and years before he made anything major of his life, you know. Two guys that lit up the room, right? You got, you know, Cena. I can hear him now. Jeez, you know, he always used to come in, and he was so proud of his position in the camp, and he became a really prominent figure. Like I said in an interview with Matchroom the other day, I remember for the Jake Paul fight, Cena was really like, he was the leader of that team. I know he was working with Usyk now, but Cena was calling all the shots. And I remember Tammy, the lady, said to me, he's got 6 minutes. So I came in to say to AJ, who was just sitting there, AJ, and Cena came over and said, Ed, let him concentrate. And that's how proud he was. And that's how seriously he took his responsibility. And he had such a great heart. Do you know what I mean? He would do anything for anyone. And lads, you know, it was like probably 3 months ago, maybe, and we were all in Dubai and AJ's house, staying there for a couple of days. Lats was a real deep thinker, like a real man of faith, and that's such a positive guy. You know, Lats was carved out of stone. He took me to the gym in Dubai for a session. And when I say I felt pathetic, and I looked pathetic as well, but you know what he done? He was bigging me up the whole time. Yes, Eddie, go, go, go. And he's one of those guys that, like, he wanted people to do well. He didn't have a bad bone in his body, and nor did Cena, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I don't know what the future holds. And it's not, you know, the moment that conversation happens about the future I'm not honestly not even thinking about it. It's just, you need to give AJ his time. Obviously, we pray for AJ, we pray for the families, and you know, it's just like life.
Does it give you a new meaning of life when something so close to you in terms of AJ being a friend more than even a colleague?
No, I mean, look, these guys, I've known those guys for over a decade. You know, I wasn't obviously like they were with AJ, but I see them all the time, and again, they're infectious people. And to think that we've lost them, and to think that their families have lost them, it's just absolutely heartbreaking. And, you know, I think AJ, like I said, AJ will always, he will be there for everybody. And I hope that, you know, people are there for him. We all will be, but I know what he's like. And, you know, he will, you know, I know how he'll be feeling inside, because he loved those guys. He loved them, you know.
I don't want to go too much into that. In terms of yourself, have you seen Dana White and Stephen A. Smith, where they spoke about you?
No.
So basically Dana said that he doesn't know what changed about you, and he feels that you've got very protective since the announcement of TKO coming into the sport. Do you feel that yourself? Do you feel that, you know, you've had to up your game, let's say?
Well, I haven't changed, but we're competitors now. So it's like, if you listen to what he said, he's had, and probably not deliberately, but he's had a kind of backhanded pop at what we do. And you know how protective and passionate I am about what I do. And when you say these guys, they're not big thinkers, or I can't remember what he said, and like, you know, I'm like,
well, I'll actually add to what he said there. He said in that interview, you've come out with all these grand ideas now since he's come into the sport.
What ideas? What grand ideas have I come out?
That's what he said. But he said in the last 10 years you've not done any of it, so why now?
I mean, if you got to look at my track record. The reality is, I watched that interview. Dana's got no passion for boxing, like he has for UFC. Listen to the way that he was delivering what he was talking about. There isn't an ounce of passion in his voice. And I love Dana. Honestly, like, I really do. I respect him so much. But of course, if you come into my game and you start firing a couple of little cheekies, what do you want me to do? Bend over like a bitch? No. And you'll never hear me talking disrespectfully about Dana, being personal about Dana. He's fair cop, it's fair game. They're an amazing company. They're like, you've got Mark Shapiro, Ari, Dana, Nick Khan. These are geniuses.
But does that worry you? Because you
No,
say that.
it turns me on, Con. It's what I want. I've got to prove that I'm the best. I believe I'm the best. I believe I'm the greatest boxing promoter that's ever lived. And it might be deluded, but my track record suggests I might be right. Okay? But I need heavy artillery up against me. I don't need some geezer with a fucking water pistol. I want the big fucking tanks coming at me. And that's what's coming. So people will slate their product initially. What is this Callum Walsh against a Campo at the Apex?
What do you make of that?
Listen, they've run out of time. They're just going to get right. These guys, they're long-term players, right? They've got a 5-year plan, not a 6-month plan. It's very weak, but it don't matter. They're going to be just fine.
Do you get worried though that, right, say for example, you've got a fighter now that's coming to the end of his contract, someone like Bam Rodriguez, right? One fight left, I think. Do you worry that they will, because of the backing, because of the powerhouse that they have been in another sport?
I've been around for so long. I understand and appreciate that when a fighter's contract comes to an end, or more specifically, when a fighter has to take a fight that quite honestly doesn't really interest me from a financial point of view, we may lose a fighter. Now that might be devastating for Matchroom, or we might just go, we didn't want to do that fight anyway, so good luck. The fighter has to decide where they want their future to lie. And I would be absolutely baffled if there wasn't a fighter in the world, especially who's dealt with me and Matchroom, that didn't want to stay with Matchroom. And I know money talks, but someone like Bam Rodriguez and Robert Garcia, we have a long-term plan that we built and started many years ago. And we've paid that man an absolute fortune, and every dollar he deserves, because he's a pound for pound great. And I want him to end his career with us. Now, if he wants to go for an extra $500,000 or $1 million with people who don't quite understand the direction and might not be able to deliver the same legacy that I can deliver, or the activity, or necessarily the honesty, then that's fine. People will go. Some people will be loyal, some people will be disloyal, and some people will make a move that's right for their career. Do you know what I mean? But it's like a treadmill. You know what I mean? It's like a revolving talent roster.
Will you watch that show on the 23rd, which is the night before yours in Las Vegas?
Yes, of course. Of course. I need to know what they're doing. I need to know how it looks. If they've got... Look, I had lunch with Nikita this week, and he said to me, you stole our idea, you know, the raised platforms of the weigh-in. I said, yeah, I did actually. He said, oh. I said, because you know what? People have been stealing my ideas for years. And I looked at what MVP done. I thought, I really like that stuff. Didn't copy it exactly, but I got the idea from watching one of their weigh-ins. They had one stand, right? People weren't weighing in at the same time, but we just adapted it. You can't be a buffoon and an idiot and not think that these people aren't intelligent people that have great ideas that will be innovative. They will be. They're talking about having a different shaped ring, aren't they, or something like that? I have no idea. But one thing I'll say is, and I've learned over the years, don't disrespect fight fans. Fight fans, hardcore fight fans, although sometimes are the bane of my life, they are the loudest, most vocal, and probably the most educated of sports fans in terms of their sport. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, you look at our other sports, darts, snooker, these people don't moan and troll and make shit up, and they're relentless, but they care about the sport. And if you deliver shit, they will tell you. I've delivered shit before, and they told me. And when we deliver great product, they tell me as well. But that tonight tells me this is our year, baby, and I ain't going nowhere. So when you say, are you worried, are you this? No, not at all. What we will do is we will get up and we will work as hard as we can every single day. We will be as consistent as possible, and we will continue to be the best at what we do. And there's some brilliant promoters out there, but life changes. I'm 46. I get it.
What about Oscar De La Hoya's video yesterday on boots and
Virgil? Look, I'm also not gonna go firing back at Oscar, because I want to make the fight. If I start coming out going, Oscar, like doing this, everyone's going to get pissed off. I've also been there before. Do you know what I mean? Oscar, Golden Boy and those guys, they made us a written offer for boots against Ortiz. 55% for Ortiz, and 45% for Jaron Ennis. I went back to Golden Boy, this is, I don't know, 4 months ago, whatever it was. And I said, I don't think that's fair. Ortiz isn't a world champion. Jaron Ennis is a world champion and unified, but he's moving up, so he no longer has a belt. He sells bucket loads of tickets in Philly. Ortiz is really popular in Texas. I think it's 50-50. We sat in a room with DAZN, me, Oscar, Eric Gomez, Pete, and Jared, right, from DAZN. We all agreed on the deal. And I'll say it because obviously Oscar's, 50-50 and 5% for the winner. Okay? So basically 55-45 to the winner. We all agreed and we left the room to make the deal. Jaron Ennis signed the contract and Virgil Ortiz didn't sign the contract. Okay? Now, if they don't want to do that deal anymore and they want to renege on their word, that's fine. I'm not going to moan about it, but I have to speak to my client because that's very different to what was agreed in the room. I really don't feel like this is the most obvious 50-50 fight that can be, but I'm very happy to look at, and I'm not going to come out and go, winner takes all. We'd do that. But anything can happen in boxing, and you've got to protect the fighter. But I'm happy to have that overlay of a bigger percentage for the winner. So if you truly believe you're going to win the fight, you will get by far the lion's share. And I'm not going to come out and tell you what it is, and I'm not going to
Would you go as far as 60-40 to the winner?
I'm going to go back to Oscar De La Hoya, who at the moment, touch wood, everything's friendly. I believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make the best fights. And when he says, Eddie, you're desperate, you're showing your hand, I am desperate. I'm desperate to make the best fights in boxing for DAZN. And for me, this fight is the best fight in American boxing.
Where does Rick Meridian's position in this?
I've no
because
idea.
there's been a lot of...
No, we don't have any conversations with Rick Meridian. We only deal with Golden Boy on this fight. We're not interested in talking to Ortiz's manager. I think Oscar was talking about something else. But we just want to deal with Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez, and we want to do it in a friendly and cordial fashion. And I will be going back to them this week with my ideas to try and make the fight. I have to speak to my client because we agreed, and everybody in that room knows what was agreed. But if that's not on the table anymore, we've got to revisit it. So hopefully we can get the fight made.
Were you or are you involved in this Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios? Because there's rumours that you're involved in that fight.
No, we have an agreement with Ring Magazine to promote a series of their fights at the start of this year. Obviously, when you've got Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy and TGB on the main event, it becomes a little bit, political. But, our focus is on January 31st. We're promoting that show. It's going to be a complete sellout in Madison Square Garden, and hopefully Ring can get Oscar and Ryan and Barrios made.
Hitchens Duarte is on that card. Have you re-signed?
No, it's not. I don't believe it's done completely, but I'm not sure if that fight's on the card. We haven't been involved in those conversations.
So you haven't re-signed for Hitchens?
No, we haven't. We were working with him to get him on the card, but DAZN, again, things happened in the past, decided they didn't want him on the card, they wanted Keyshawn Davis on the card. And that's what happened then. Let's see if DAZN want him on February 21st. Listen, we've got Dalton Smith. If he wants to unify, he can fight Dalton Smith at Hillsborough.
In terms of Keyshawn Davis, are you in discussions with him about potential?
No, not had any. I believe he has fights with Top Rank left, so I've not had any conversations with Keyshawn Davis.
Ed, who's Fury, in your opinion, going to fight next? Obviously, AJ's ruled out.
I don't know. I don't really want to speculate because I don't want to piss people off.
But surely you've got an idea.
I know who he's. I know who he's fighting. I've got a very good idea who he's fighting. But it's not for me to say. It's not my fight. Not my fighter. I'm not gonna,
What did you make of Caballero?
I haven't really seen it. I think the stoppage was I thought the atmosphere looked incredible. Mad crowd. Hats off to Queensbury. I mean, they haven't had a big fight in Germany or a fight in Germany for years and years. So they've done great. Caballero's a very good fighter. I hope he fights Usyk, but Usyk seems hell bent on fighting Wilder.
You think that happens?
Yeah, I do.
What's next for Dave Allen?
Dave Allen will fight on February 21st in Nottingham. We've got about 600 tickets left, and then he'll be in a big fight in the summer.
Who's that against?
I'm not sure yet.
Ed, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.